Now, I know this isn't true, but sometimes my mind tricks me into feeling like it totally is. Can you relate?
It's so common to beat yourself up over the things you did not achieve and to feel like you wasted the year, but it is not helpful. And we're about to help you to let go of some of that self beat up, to plan better for next year and in years to come, and to guide you through 2 super powerful practices that you can use to rewire your mind, de-stress, and give yourself a break for not getting all the things done this year.
Now, Cara and I are pretty obsessed with well-being, self-development hacks, and having fun as you rewire your mind. We've helped thousands of people across the globe to do just that, change the way they think and feel so that they can change the results in their lives. And, we're both human. We both have struggles and challenges that we go through ourselves as well, as you've already heard in this series, and we'll hear more about today, including which goals we didn't hit this year and the stories behind that. So if you're into being real, if you're into growing and developing and changing regardless, then hit subscribe with notifications on both of our channels so that you can keep winning at life and rolling with the punches, because life ain't always peaches.
It's true. It's up to us to turn those lemons into lemonade, to get back up and to keep going, even if we've failed. We live the way we feel, and if we feel defeated, stupid, wrong, or bad, we're going to live as if we are those things, which we are not. They're just labels we've placed upon ourselves, labels which we can also remove. The labels stay stuck because of the heavy emotions we've attached to them. And because we've practiced these thoughts, emotions, and actions related to them over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, strengthening their truth in our minds. Breaking habits can be tough if you aren't persistent or if you haven't addressed all the levels: emotional, mental, physical.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the tapping session that Cara is going to lead us through later, because it hits all of the levels. And one of my favorite things about tapping is that you can be real and acknowledge how you're actually feeling, what you're actually thinking, and move through it. So many coaches and gurus out there are preaching some pretty toxic positivity. And while there's good in focusing on the good and disengaging negative energy and emotion, pretending it doesn't exist will never ever serve you long term, because it's there. So why not acknowledge it and move through it? Now, I'll put my hand up and say I didn't hit my goals this year. I didn't hit my financial goal. I didn't finish a 10-week course that I had planned to do. Barely even started it, and I was gifted it last Christmas. I launched a course and was running it and realized that it wasn't really what I wanted to be doing anymore. I was so excited to launch it, and for years I've wanted to bring it to life, and it didn't fit with me anymore. So there were 2 big reasons that I'd like to highlight that I did not hit the goals that I had set at the start of last year, the start of this year or the end of last year. Number 1 is that I didn't follow through. It's so easy for us to write goals at the start of a year and be all lofty and ambitious, and then do not much at all to actually take ourselves there. Now, this is true for me, and I'm going to get to why in a moment. Second is I reprioritized. Now, I reprioritized because in April, I had a major breakdown. And at that point, I focused, and I chose to focus for 6 months on what was most important to me, which was my mental, emotional, and physical health, being with my family, and enjoying my life. So when you choose in the moment for what's most important for you then, it's really empowering because it's suited to where you're at. I don't condone pushing forward on something that you know you don't actually even want anymore, but you feel like you have to see it through. It's silly. It can definitely burn you out. I can say that for a fact for myself. And it's not something I teach, I recommend, or that I practice in my own life. Also this year, what I feel like really dropped in for me from a logical level into an embodied knowing and understanding is that I'm in my young 30s. I have time. And all of us have so much time. And I have a huge vision for what I want to achieve in this life. And as long as I keep moving forward, I know that I will bring to fruition all that I desire.
Right on, right on, right on, Bianca. I am so glad to hear that you came back to what's important. And you are so right. You have time. And so does everyone. As long as we're alive, we have the opportunity to make this moment awesome. Now, I've got to admit that I too did not hit every goal this year. I didn't maintain my pranayama practice. I ended up getting really deeply into meditation, and that just sort of took over the time that I had set aside for pranayama. And I definitely didn't reach my financial goals, but I did manage to increase my income a little bit over the year before, so I'll take that as a win. And I didn't exercise daily. I had some good streaks here and there, but then I had a major setback. In October, I had a medical scare that turned into a diagnosis of Meniere's disease. And that turned into a serious struggle to release the fear that I was feeling from the diagnosis. I was scared of eating. I was scared of drinking even the smallest amount of caffeine. I was scared of driving. I was scared of going on a walk by myself due to the dizziness and the possibility of a vertigo attack. And honestly, I am still dealing with some fear about the future and fear about potentially losing my hearing. All of this fear made me stressed out. And I believe that stress is one of the things that triggers my symptoms. So, that's just a vicious cycle. I dealt with these symptoms for about 3.5 weeks before the worst of them went away. It's an incurable disease, but it can go into remission for years, and it's not fatal. There are things that can be done, different treatments that can be done for the symptoms, and there's things that I can do, like deal with my stress. I can change my diet some, which I've done, and exercise. So, this just makes my commitment to meditation, mindfulness, laughter, and health even deeper than before.
Oh, Cara, that must be so crazy scary at times. I can't even begin to imagine what that must be like. But I'm really glad that you actually get to prioritize your health and that you chose to prioritize what's most important to you. And the thing is, we don't have to have a diagnosis or a crisis for us to choose to change for the better. We don't have to be the victim before we choose to change. We can choose to change and choose for us right now. And those patterns of self-beat up that Cara was referring to earlier, they're not helpful, and they often actually hinder your achievement and your satisfaction and enjoyment in life. We live by how we feel. So what if your goal for next year could be based on that. Do you want to be feeling good, feeling confident, feeling inspired, sexy, energetic, creative, invigorated, at peace? I don't think anyone puts rushed, overwhelmed, too busy to see friends and family on their vision boards, but somehow those of us who are very ambitious can end up there very quickly because we're striving so hard towards some other tangible goal. And there's a real push out there in the personal development world to have those tangible goals and to not be airy, fairy, and vague. But when the reality is that your life is how you feel. If you feel crap, your life is crap. You will perceive it as crap. If you feel good, you will perceive your life as good. So why are we missing that when we're setting our goals or setting our visions for the year ahead or even the day ahead? The secret is that when you feel inspired, when you feel content and grateful for what you have, and you'll be in a space where you can create and manifest your goals with so much ease, so much enjoyment. And isn't that what you actually want? To enjoy what you're doing and do the things you want to do?
Heck yeah! If we can practice focusing on the feelings we want to have, just as you might have been taught to do in your meditations, visualizations, gratitude practice, or journaling, we can live happier, richer, more rewarding lives. Once we build the habit of focusing on and feeling these good feelings, we also naturally develop more confidence in ourselves, and we feel more content and peaceful rather than tense and like we always want something we don't have. If we're feeling great already, we're more likely to do the things we truly want to do. As we actively focus our minds on the good, we're literally molding our brains into new ways of being, and we're building connections that help us to strengthen our habits of feeling good. Resilience, compassion, and forgiveness for ourselves and others can often come as happy side effects of practicing these things.
Yes, and the side effects build on themselves as your reticular activating system helps you to notice and attract more and more good. The other funny thing is that people often set goals based on a thing that they think will help them feel the way they want to feel. So they might think that job will help them to feel accomplished and worthy in the world. They might think that relationship will help them to feel peace and love that they wouldn't find otherwise. They might think that car or that house or that number in the bank account or on the scales is going to bring them something magically within the way they feel. And it's simply not true. We don't need a thing or an accomplishment or a certificate so that we can feel a certain way. Because we can choose to feel joy, to feel peace, to feel confident, to feel excited and invigorated and inspired. We can choose to feel however we want to feel at any point in time. It's not about what we achieve. It's about what we create. So before we get into the tapping practice, we're just going to quickly recap. 1, we can notice and remove the labels that we've placed on ourselves or on our behavior. We must acknowledge what we're actually feeling in order to move through it. We live how we feel, and maybe that's something that's worth remembering. So what can we do to set better goals next time round? Well, this video is not about that, but I did get crazy excited and start typing away when I was planning this video. So if you would love to receive the tapping meditation that we're going to do later in this video, if you'd love to receive those tips from an award-winning coach, mind you, on setting better goals, and if you'd love to have the Yoga Nidra that we had in our first video, then find the link below so that you can access all of those, get them delivered straight to your inbox. And I decided to throw another bonus into the video when I was planning it. One of my favorite tools is laughing around the story that we're telling ourselves. So we're laughing, we're going to say something about how we feel or something that we think about that situation, and then we're laughing more. And then we're going to say something about what we think or feel about it. And this way of embedding the story within the laughter and within the positive neurochemistry of the laughter means that we're starting to create a new pathway, a new experience around whatever this situation is, that whether it's a goal or something like that, we're going to create a new response to that and diffuse the negative emotion that may be there. So what I'll get you to do is focus now. You might even like to close your eyes as you do on one goal you didn't achieve this year or this week or whatever it is for you. Or maybe it's something that you regret not doing or doing this year. And we're going to choose to laugh. So just as a reminder, there's no jokes, there's no humor, there's no comedy. You don't need to laugh at yourself or at someone else or at or about anything at all. You can choose to laugh as simply as you can choose to breathe in and out. So we're going to demonstrate with goals that we didn't achieve. I'll invite you, if you need the time, to press pause now and write down the goal that you didn't achieve or the thing that you regret and some of your thoughts and feelings about that so that you've got them there to refer to as you go through. So we're going to start by laughing. Deep breath in. I didn't do my Wim Hof course.
I didn't prioritize exercising this year.
It's bad because I got it as a present. And I haven't even used it.
I feel bad because I know it helps me physically, mentally, and emotionally.
I feel stupid because I have started it, but I just didn't continue. It's been a whole year and I still haven't done it.
Over the whole year, I never got consistent exercise to stick.
52 weeks to do a 10-week course.
It just didn't happen.
Taking a nice deep breath in and slowly out. Now, if you don't feel like you've cracked anything, what you want to do is keep laughing. Perhaps keep repeating the same things if they feel like they've got a lot of emotional charge around them. Like if there's something that you feel particularly bad about or regret a lot, then you can repeat that phrase or the things that feel sticky or difficult for you in that, so that you can release it and let it go. And what you'll feel is that there'll be a point where you click over. You'll maybe suddenly find the whole scenario hilarious. You might just feel like the laughter takes over. You might feel like a total idiot because you're laughing and you've never done anything like this before, and you might just be laughing about that. But what you'll find is that as you try to draw your emotion back to the way you felt before, the way you felt about that thing you regret, that thing you didn't get done, that thing you might have been belting yourself up about, beating yourself up around, you'll lose that emotional connection to it, and you'll find that that intensity that was there before just isn't. And you can repeat this process as many times as you like to further dissipate the emotion that you're holding around it and to let it go, because laughter and tears are our body's natural release systems. So they help us to let go and to keep emotional flow happening so that we're not stuck in any particular emotion for too long.
If you're feeling some relief, drop a high five emoji in the comments to let us know.
Emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping, is an alternative treatment for physical pain and emotional stress. It's also referred to as tapping or psychological acupressure. And similar to acupuncture, EFT tapping focuses on the meridian points or energy hotspots to restore balance to your body's energy. I'm excited. Let's go.
Let's start with a little deep breathing. Breathe in, hold it, and squeeze. Then release with an ah. Breathe in, hold it, and squeeze. Then ah. Breathe in, hold it, and squeeze. Then Now begin tapping on the karate chop point. As we go through this meditation, please repeat the statements out loud or in your head. You'll notice that we'll start by accepting the truth of what we're feeling, and then we'll work through it to release any disappointment. Even though I didn't keep all of my resolutions this year, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel disappointed by not marking off everything on my list, I'm willing to release this disappointment and feel lighter now. Even though I feel sad that I didn't accomplish all of my goals, I accept how I feel, and I'm open to releasing last year's resolutions now. Gently tap on the eyebrow point. I didn't keep all of my resolutions. Side of the eye. I didn't accomplish all of my goals. Under the eye. The year is over and I didn't do everything I planned. Under the nose. I feel like a failure. Dip of the chin. I feel like I'll never achieve my goals. Collarbone. I feel disappointed and sad. Under the arm. My heart feels heavy. Top of the head. This heavy sadness. Eyebrow point. It makes it hard for me to think clearly. Side of the eye. It makes it hard for me to know what to do next year. Under the eye. I know everything would feel easier if I can release some of this disappointment. Under the nose. I want to feel lighter. Dip of the chin. But I still feel this disappointment and sadness. Collarbone. It's natural to feel disappointed when things don't go as planned. Under the arm. But I wonder if I could calm down these feelings. Top of the head. I wonder if I could release them. Eyebrow point. I want to feel calm and relaxed. Side of the eye. Maybe I could feel lighter. Under the eye. Maybe I could feel focused. Under the nose. I'm willing to try to let go of this disappointment and sadness. Dip of the chin. Maybe tapping and laughter can help me relieve some of these feelings. Collarbone. I'm open to releasing this disappointment and sadness. Under the arm. I'm willing to let these feelings go. Top of the head. I choose to feel calm, relaxed, and focused. Eyebrow. Now we'll continue moving through the tapping points while doing a laughter meditation. Laugh as lightly or as heartily as you feel like laughing. Side of the eye. Ha, 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 ha. Under the eye. Ho, 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 ho. Under the nose. He. Dip of the chin. Collarbone. Under the arm. Top of the head. Let's go back to the karate chop point and say, I choose to let go of last year's resolutions. I choose to let go of my disappointment and sadness. I choose to feel calm, relaxed, and focused. Wonderful. Breathe in. Hold it. Squeeze. And release with an ah. Breathe in. Hold it. Squeeze. And ah. Breathe in. Hold it and squeeze. Then If you're still feeling disappointment and sadness, please continue tapping and laughing until you feel some relief. Thank you.
Hey, I'm sneaking in one more tip for you. If you want to focus on how you want to feel and you feel like this year didn't go that well, write a list of all the things that did go well, the things that you did do, even if they were unplanned. Feel the joy in the things that you accomplished, achieved, worked through, got over, released, let go of, whatever, and celebrate those things. You know I love to celebrate. Enjoy. And if you want to share your celebrations in the comments, feel free to drop them below as well. Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Please subscribe to both of our channels with notifications on so you can be notified when we release more videos like this one.
And if you join our mailing list, you'll get a free download of the Yoga Nidra, today's tapping meditation, and Bianca's goal-setting tips. The link is below.
Here's to enjoying peaceful, joyful holidays.
Happy New Year and laugh on.